President Trump has certainly not been generous in his remarks about President Joe Biden or Vice President Kamala Harris. His recent comments underscore his continued antagonism towards the current administration. He's criticized Trump's decision to end. Trump has criticized Biden's decision to end his re-election campaign, suggesting that Biden's inability to run for re-election demonstrates his unfitness to serve as a president even now. Trump has said Biden was not fit to run for president and is certainly not fit to serve. He should resign immediately. Well, that would actually play out in Kamala Harris's favor, wouldn't it? So Kamala Harris would become president. She would become a sitting president, fighting to save her job in the new presidential election, and that would be a bonus. But all this illustrates a relentless attack on Biden's competence and mental acuity. Additionally, Trump and his campaign have expressed confidence that Harris would be easier to defeat in the upcoming election. But is this just bravado? Is this just spunk? And Trump declaring Harris will be easier to beat than Joe Biden would have been. This statement, along with his campaign's coordinated attacks on her record, suggest a strategic effect to undermine Harris by linking her closely with Biden's policies, particularly on contentious issues like immigration and crime. The Trump campaign has labeled Harris as Biden's enabler-in-chief and emphasized that she must defend both her and Biden's records. But won't it be interesting? A convicted felon facing a prosecutor. Trump's record will also be now very much on display, as well as his rhetoric, often described as scathing and aggressive, a mix of bravado and calculated political strategy. By portraying Harris as the weaker candidate and criticizing Biden's administration, Trump aims to galvanize his base and create a narrative of Democratic failure. Regarding Trump's behavior, of course, following the assassination attempt, it doesn't appear that he has mellowed. Instead, he continues to engage in combative and assertive political discourse. For instance, his post on the Truth Social says, we will suffer greatly because of Biden's presidency, but he will remedy the damage. But we will remedy the damage he has done very quickly, indicating his persistent adversarial stance and promise of swift corrective action if elected. But that promise of swift corrective action is the same promise which is made by conspiracy theorists. There is no universal medicine. There is no elixir. The world is a complicated world, and there is no single solution. That is the problem. That is the fundamental problem with conspiracy theorists. That is the fundamental problem with Trump. He cannot walk in and fix Israel, Gaza, Ukraine, Russia. He cannot do that. Yemen, Syria. It's not possible. NATO. But and migration. All of these things, he cannot fix them in one day like he claims. It just is not possible. If he could have done it, he would have done it 4 years ago. Number one. Number two, whoever was in power during the COVID crisis seems to be on the way out. It seems to be the curse of COVID, the ongoing curse of COVID. Because in the end, people realize COVID was handled badly throughout the world. Why? Because governments are not looking to plan for the future. Governments are looking to plan for themselves. Whatever they say. Trump's recent comments and actions suggest he remains as combative and as outspoken as ever. Twisting words, twisting meanings, twisting the understanding of his base. using both Biden's withdrawal and Harris's candidacy as focal points for his political strategy. Whether this is effective remains to be seen, but it clearly aligns with his established approach of direct and often harsh criticism of his opponents.